All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very anticipated match. This is the winners bracket final between Piece of Toast and Farm and Feed. These teams are arguably the two best teams in the league, even though there might be some bad blood between these two. A lot of rescheduling problems, calling each other names. But hopefully, we'll have a couple great games of Dota for you guys tonight. So if you guys are watching this, it's gonna have to be through a VOD since this stream is down for some reason. I just keep disconnecting every 2 minutes, and I can't really fix the problem right now. So sorry about that for anyone
Radiant
that
team.
wanted to watch live, but hopefully you're watching the VOD, so you aren't missing too much, except for the very active stream chat, Twitch chat with like two viewers, but no problem. Anyway, so this game again is the winners bracket final and is a best of three. So the winner of this game will move on to the grand finals, and the loser of this game will play the winner between Phoenix and the Wingman and play a Source Rex. And I believe those two games, the losers bracket's gonna play out tomorrow, and then the next week we will have grand finals. So definitely looking forward to the grand finals. I actually don't think I'll be able to cast that game. I'll be out of town, but definitely be a good series to watch. So first bans, we have very standard bans right now, Terrorblade and Crobulus. Nothing too much to talk about there. Terrorblade actually kind of has fallen out of favor for a lot of pro teams. He got some slight nerfs. I know the illusions take about, I think, 100% more damage from base 100. And his movement speed got buffed in Metamorphosis, but you don't really chase too hard when you're Metamorphosis. So I think he's still a strong hero, and he still pushes towers, and has pretty strong fight early on like a beast. So not surprised to see Terrorblade banned out right now. Let me just check my audio settings real quick.
Radiant team pick.
Unfortunately, I can't really test if my audio settings are set properly right now, just because the stream doesn't work, so I can't watch myself in the stream. But hopefully, I'm talking loud enough and the in-game volume is soft enough where my voice comes through. But we have Legion Commander and Razor bans, so again, more standard bans. Not just don't really want to give away some of the best heroes in the meta right now, quote unquote best heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
But nothing's really revealed with these two bans as you might expect from
Five
the first ban
seconds
phase.
remaining.
We have a Skywrath Mage first pick, 4
Dire
piece of
team
toast.
pick.
Very strong support hero. I mean, sure, we've all heard it. He has great burst damage when he gets level 6. A lot of his silence, instant cast. That's probably one of the best parts about his silence. Long range instant cast silence, very strong. His nukes are very strong as well, so not too surprised that Skyrath Mage got picked here. We'll kind of see, what they want to partner the Skyrath Mage with. A lot of teams like Faces
10
Void
seconds remaining.
with the Skyrath Mage is very strong. Sand King is often a common partner with the
5
Skyrath
seconds
Mage.
remaining.
Those two supports have a lot of damage, which you normally don't get from a lot of supports.
Reserve
That support
time.
combination not only has a lot of damage, but decent control as well. Burrow Strike and Ancient Seal is not too bad. Not the most by any means, but oftentimes it gets the jobs done. Especially when you have other core heroes that can just really make up for the lack of control. Maybe something like a core Tide
Dire
Hunter with
team
that
pick.
Ravage, also very strong with those two heroes. But we'll see what they want to do. First pick Jakiro. We've seen that a lot from EG in particularly. If you guys are watching the start of that, Universe has been a beast on that hero,
Radiant
just solo
team pick.
taking towers. The game earlier today we had a support Jakiro, and I really think support Jakiros,
Radiant
not support
team
Jakiros,
banned.
core Jakiros, if they go a build where they don't get dual breath, I really think they should just dedicate themselves to pushing towers. I really think Jakiro can push towers faster than the vast majority of heroes in the game. There's no reason why he should
10
be
seconds.
fighting
10
if he just has
seconds
Ice
remaining.
Path and one Liquid Fire, especially if the team thinks they can
5
hold off the fight.
seconds
Maybe one
remaining.
Ice Path can obviously make a big difference, but Jakiro
Dire
should
team
really be
banned.
pushing towers if he goes max Liquid Fire. And if he can avoid a team fight, it's definitely better. And we have a second pick Tide Hunter for the Dire and a Centaur War Runner for the Radiant side here. Centaur War Runner is a great partner to the Skyrath Mage. Blink Stomp into Mystic Flare and a Double Edge with an Ancient Seal is
Dire
pretty
team
much a
banned.
dead hero 93% of the time. On the other hand, we have Tide Hunter. I think Tide Hunter is a pretty good pick here. It's definitely good against heroes like the Centaur, just because if they try to run away and if you can catch up with a Blink Ravage, that kind of just nullifies the
10
Stampede.
seconds remaining.
It's a little bit less good against Skyrath Mage just because if Tidehunter is silenced but not
5
damaged, then he's
seconds
kind of taken
remaining.
out of the fight. So he'll have to be careful to watch out for the Skyrath Mage silence. But I'm imagining with a Blink
Reserve
Dagger, he'll be
time.
trained how to do most of the initiation. And with hero like Jakiro, the Ravage into a follow-up Macro Pyre and Ice Path can be very potent for the dire side right now. But on the last couple, second stage of bans, we have a Lich and Void banned out. I'm kind of surprised to see a Void banned out. I'm not sure why the Radiant don't want to kind of pick it themselves. Just because, Void, very good with the Skyrath Mage, and just a very strong hero overall. Maybe just because they don't, playing Void isn't really a piece of toast style, so they ban it out. But we have a Lich ban out as well. Lich, pretty interesting ban. So if that's like a Lich Jakiro support duo, I think, I wouldn't, I wouldn't mind that if I were a piece of toast, just because the control that those two provide is minimum, but they do have a lot of other things that they excel in. They definitely excel in laning stages. Liquid Fire spam in lane can be very annoying. Frost Armor is very strong in team fights, and Chain Frost is not too bad as well, especially with a Ravage or with an Ice Path. So it looks like we have a Pugna now, so definitely more of a pushing strat right now from the Dire side. Definitely they have, heroes that can't really be ignored so far. You can't really ignore Pugna and Jakiro just because they're going to push down all your towers. You can't ignore Tidehunter if he has Ravage up. So we'll see how Radiant decide to handle this pretty strong lineup so far from the Dire side, just because they have a little bit of everything. It's hard to take team fights when Tidehunter has Ravage, but you have to take fights or else you're just going to push down all your towers with Pugna and Jakiro. So that even more push right now for the Dire side. Shadow Shaman, 4th pick. Those Rasta wards are obviously, everyone knows how strong they are. Strong against heroes and buildings, but mostly for the buildings. We have an Ogre Magi picked up right now, and I think if the Radiant can get a lot of kills early and kind of cut off the push in the tracks, definitely have the heroes to kind of gank around the map right now. Ogre, Skyrath, very strong support duo, lots of damage there. Pretty good burst as well once they get their level 6s. Obviously Centaur, great burst, so if they can get a lot of pickoffs, piece of toast that is, they can definitely kind of stop this push line in their tracks, because once the Dire side is behind, they'll definitely find it harder to fight against the Radiant team, especially with a hero like Necrophos, just because Necrophos is obviously a very strong snowball hero in my opinion. His heal can definitely counteract, a Ravage. I think that a mech and a one death pulse. Is that what it's called? Yes, Death Pulse can pretty much negate a Ravage's worth of damage and possibly, a Pugna's blast of damage. But one thing they have to watch out for is the Pugna ward. I think the Pugna ward is very strong this game. Skyrath Mage and Necrophos both kind of get wrecked by that, that Pugna ward. Skyrath Mage, obviously, his Mystic Flare, 350 mana at level 1. If he gets in range of a max level Pugna ward, he's pretty much dead unless he has a lot of HP. If he has a couple bracers, maybe a round of Ados, but that's a long way for Skyrath Mage to get those items. And Necrophos, definitely a little bit more tankier, but his spells, 300 mana in total, not as bad, but still very mana dependent. Ogre Magi as well, very mana dependent hero, and he can be very squishy, even though, I think Ogre Magi is one of the best heroes in the game. Such a great body on him. He has so much HP and armor, and his spells are very good as well. So, but still, with that Pugna Death Ward and kind of the setup that Dire has right now, they kind of have a ability to kind of zone out the enemy team from defending their tower. Obviously, the enemy team doesn't want to really fight those Pugna wards, and if they do, a Blink Tidehunter can come in and kind of ruin their party. Pugna wards can come in, ruin their party, and so Radiant have to be very careful how they choose to play this early game right now, just because if they don't get a lot of pickoffs and they come out with an even early game, their counter push right now is extremely weak. Ogre Ignite and Necrophos Death Pulse, and Necrophos Death Pulse is very short range, first of all. Ogre Ignite is damage over time, and Skyrath Mage and Centaur can't really counter push. They have to be really careful how they approach this laning phase, just because the counter push is not there right now. And against this lineup, it's gonna be very hard to take any fights once they get online. And Bristleback last pick, I think that's a great pickup. That's a hero that can fight anytime, anywhere, and it's not solely dependent on a cooldown like some of these heroes like Tidehunter and Shadow Shaman are. And I think Bristleback is a great way to round up their lineup and kind of play that very tanky hero to stand in front of these pushes and let the rest of the team do damage to the tower while Bristleback zones the rest of the team away. And in case he gets gone on, there's Tidehunter to back him up, there's Jakiro and that Pugna Ward to ban him up. So I like a lot of the synergy between the Dire team right now. But we have last pick Panda. So Panda, I think, is a hero that can do well against the Radiant
Prepare
lineup just
for
because
battle.
if you can get a very nice split off, that will really disrupt the push or the team fight that's in its tracks. And a Panda into a Stampede can try to pick off some of the most important heroes before they get any of their big ultimates off. I really want to see uh, the Radiant side right now try to pick off Pugna before the fight starts, just because obviously the Nether Ward is so strong in my opinion against this lineup. And Brewmaster, you know, can't suffer from the Pugna Ward as well, just because if he stands in the Pugna Ward too long, that mana degeneration might put him out of Primal Spirit range by like 1 or 2 mana points. So he has to be careful of fighting within that Pugna Ward. But regardless, let me just introduce the teams. This is the winners bracket final between Piece of Toast on the Radiant side and Farm and Feed for the Dire. We have Abu Kamu on the Necrophos, Devdas on the Ogre Magi, SU
30
Blood on the
seconds
Centaur,
to
the Big
battle.
Bad Bird, who is actually a stand-in right now for Shibi on the Panda, Devda's Legendary Feeder on the Skyeth Mage. I forgot who that is, but hopefully they won't fight and I can talk about and introduce the players real quick. We have Dutch Korean Town on the Dire, something something Dad on the Shadow Shaman, Chromosome on the Tide Hunter, something else, some other Chinese word on the Jakiro, and Sodium Lolo on the Pugna. So looks like we have an aggressive
The
tri
battle
lane
begins.
on the Dire side right now. I think that's Xiao Shaman, Jakiro, and Brosabek is a very strong tri lane just because there's not that much they can do to the Bristleback, I think, early on, just because there's so much backup from the Xiao Shaman and the Jakiro on their side. So I think Bristleback will get pretty good farm here, even though there's two 600 range heroes. Excuse me there, guys. Uh, yeah, so even though there's like two range heroes on both sides, and the range heroes on the Radiant side are very strong, I think Bristleback, if he gets a quick magic wand or something, can have a really easy time in this lane. Let me talk about other little matchups really quick. We have a Centaur against a Tidehunter. Centaur generally beats most melee heroes just because of Anchor Smash is just so strong. But you have to be careful about how much burst damage Centaur can put out. If Centaur and Tidehunter kind of trade last hits, and Tidehunter gets like low all of a sudden, Centaur can definitely burst him down. But generally, I would favor the Tidehunter in that matchup. I imagine Tidehunter has a decent amount of restoratives and sorry guys, can stave off the Centaur burst until he gets a decent amount of levels and tank ability. But on the mid we have Panda and Pugna. I really can't say who is favoring that matchup. Panda is definitely a very strong mid laner, but Pugna with constant blast spam can really zone out this Brewmaster right now. So Brewmaster has to be careful not to take too much harass, even though obviously, you know, Clap is one of the strongest spells to kind of take a hero by surprise. He has to be careful not to take too much blast. And the thing is, like, Pugna has the creps, so if Brewmaster thinks he might get the last hit, Pugna can all of a sudden decrupt himself and have one more blast to finish off the Brewmaster. So I'd have to favor the Dire lanes a little bit. But we'll see if the Radiant side can kind of make anything happen in these lanes. Excuse me. Sorry guys, my throat is just harsh right now.
Selfish.
Anyway, I really don't
Dire's
expect too many
middle
kills to
tower
go
is
on the
under
top
attack.
or the mid lane, just because I think both heroes have enough respect for the other hero's damage and will try to farm it up. Pugna, I think, might want to go for early mech this game, obviously, to sustain that push even more. He might go for something else like maybe a Axe Scepter, but obviously I think the mech is the most crucial item here, and there's no really obvious mech here besides the Tidehunter. But Tidehunter, I imagine, wants a really fast blink dagger and an arcane boots on top of that. The arcane boots, well, okay, looks like I fortunately missed that. Pugna just gets an easy decrep Nether Blast, and I'm not really sure what Panda was doing right now. I think he was just being too far up and just got caught out by surprise. He has to respect the Nether Blast and decrep a little bit more. Sorry I missed that, folks. But, you know, I think the mid lane will be very hard for the Brewmaster right now. Just because he's going to be behind in level as Pugna will have the ability to kind of chip the Brewmaster's towers. And one thing I noticed is that Pugna went for that boots first. Boots first, obviously, very good against the Brewmaster, just because even if he gets slowed, he won't take as much damage if he did not have a boots. I mean, he won't take as much damage just because he has a boots and can run out of the Brewmaster's right click range faster than if he did not. And It's really great for just kind of avoiding the collapse in general. Just especially because sometimes Pugna will get stuck on the animation of the last hit, and if Brewmaster runs up in that time, you can really take a lot of damage from the Brewmaster. But it looks like we have initiation on the Shadow Shaman right now. Do they have enough damage to burst this Shadow Shaman down? Yes, it is. No, yes, it is. Oh, but there's no Sadist. I mean, there's no, what's it called? Sadist on the Necrophos, and Brewmaster, I mean, Bristleback is able to get a kill on the Necrophos, and it looks like he'll get a kill on the Skyrim Mage as well. Wow. Nice turnaround from the Dire side. Unfortunately, Necrophos just took too much damage here, and he had a level in Hardstarver Aura. I don't blame him for getting Hardstarver's Aura, but maybe if he had Status there, he might have lived. But Brewmaster, we can see how much damage he can put on early, and if he's ignored, he just does so much damage right now. So, unfortunately, for the Radiant side, it's 3 for 1 in the Dire lead, and it's only going to get harder from here. Like I said, the Radiant really need to win the early game to even have a chance to stop this push. There's no counter push on the Radiant side except for initiating with the Brewmaster, honestly. And with those 2 kills right now, you have a Bristleback with a Ring of Health. They'll have a lot of trouble zoning him out in the lane. And I think their kills on the bottom lane have to be extremely clean in order to avoid getting killed by the Bristleback in return. We saw how much a couple stacks of Cool Spray does. I'm really surprised, that the Cool Spray damage is so much with only like 3 stacks. It didn't seem like he had that many stacks up, but it looks like he did. 3-second cooldown. You would expect him to get a couple stacks up right now, but it's going really bad right now for the Radiant side. We see Brewmaster getting bullied around by this Pugna, a full level behind. How's top lane doing right now? Looks like I didn't pull up. I should have pulled up the last hits. We have Tidehunter, as I expected, beating the Centaur just because Anchor Smash is such a low mana, high impact spell, unlike the Centaur spells right now. But Centaur is doing okay. He'll have his Tranquil Boots if he wants them, but without that quick Blink Dagger, I think the Radiant game plan will not come online fast enough. Just because they need to take these fights as soon as possible and stop these heroes before they can get to their pushing power. The Radiant side really need to have an advantage in terms of levels and farm, but it looks like there's a pick-off on the Pugna here. 2 heroes essentially on the mid lane. Easy Ancient Seal into a concussive shot into Ancient Seal, I imagine. But sorry, I keep missing all these kill guys. Wow, I gotta work on this camera work. You think I improved over the course of this season of the IDL, but it looks like I am not. So I increased my APM a little bit, guys, but at least I caught tail end of it. Just kidding, no I didn't. But nope, I think the Radiant side need more kills like that. Centaur has to be very careful. Even if he baits out the first Ravage, looks like there's another kill on the Pugna. Whoops. Wow. Fuck me. It looks like there might be a kill on the Jakiro right now. Ogre has enough mana for one more spell, but he has a Soul Ring, so he has enough to unload both of these spells. He has a chance to get this Jakiro, but Jakiro has the boots. Oh, it looks like the last he gets fogged, but if they get this kill on the Shadow Shaman, it's going to be really strong. Shadow Shaman just trying to stall this Panda, but there's no mana right now. And there's going to be another clap. Stampede goes up. It looks like that was a wasted Stampede, unfortunately, and Jakiro was too far away. But that was a wasted Stampede, but, they still get 3 kills, I think, on the mid lane. Pugna twice and a Shadow Shaman. That's exactly what the Radiant need. And unfortunately, the Dire side just did not expect the 3 heroes to be mid all this time. Leaving the Necrophos alone with the Bristleback can be very dangerous because Bristleback honestly can eat up that Necrophos, but he does not have any points in that goo right now. So Necrophos has the opportunity to be a little bit more aggressive in his farming and not take as much damage. Centaur doesn't have to really care too much about the Bristleback just because he has a Stomp, has a Stampede if it's off cooldown. I like this rotation a little bit more for the Radiant side just because Necrophos will do a lot better against the Radiant. We have a split going on in the mid lane right now. Can they get this kill? This will be a really big kill if they can kind of waste the Radiant's time and get a kill. They really have to be careful with the Earth Panda. The Earth Panda has to get back right now. I think if you use the Fire Panda to try to get a kill on the Shadow Shaman, it might have been worth it. But this Earth Panda right now eats a Ravage. Ravage on 2. Can they get the Ogre Magi? This Pugna has to be careful. If he eats the stun, this Pugna's about to die from the tower. Wow. Nice 1-for-1. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. 1-for-1 trade-off. Brewmaster for Pugna. Trading solo mids. I think that favors the Dire side, unfortunately, for the Radiant. Just because, shutting down the Panda can be very important. He doesn't have his Blink Dagger right now, and I think that's key. Stopping the Panda from getting his Blink Dagger. And I think the Panda, unfortunately, misplayed that a little bit. I think he had an opportunity to get the kill on the Shadow Shaman and still make it out alive, but I missed another kill. Wow, fuck me. On the bottom lane, looks like Centaur is able to get a kill on the Bristleback. Imagine that. unfortunately, it looks like Bristleback just underestimated how much burst damage Centaur does. Centaur does about 600 damage of burst damage. Without the Stampede, Stampede going on. Where's it going on? Top lane right now. Disengage for Avukamu. Wow, my map awareness is really garbage right now. But yeah, hopefully it'll improve. But I think the Radiant side is onto a good recovery just because of that Bristleback kill. I think the Bristleback is such an important kill, way more important than any of these other heroes, just because Bristleback is essentially like the failsafe for the Dire side. If they maybe lose a couple fights, Bristleback has the opportunity to fight again without some of these big ultimates and hopefully win the fight through his ability to just do a lot of damage, sustain damage in these fights. He has the Vanguard right now, but it looks like this push is about to start on the top lane right now. We have the Ogre Magi in a sneaky position. There is no Ravage right now. Blast on the Ogre Magi. Is there a ultimate for the Sky Mage? She has no mana right now. That's a little bit unfortunate. Ogre Magi goes down. Unfortunately, the Reaper side cannot get a kill on the Tidehunter. That's unfortunate that Scarlet Mage did not have enough mana. I'm not really sure, you know, what the plan was right there. The Reaper scythe was used a little bit wastefully. I think they probably realized that they couldn't get the kill from the Reaper scythe, and maybe they should have just held it in order to save it for a future day. You know, Pugna is here, going to be keep blasting his tower. But this Brewmaster have his Blink Dagger. It's on the courier right now, so this will be really important. Scarlet Mage needs to get mana boost from someone. There's a TP in from the Ogre Magi. It looks like the Dire side's about to be a retreat. But Centaur and Bristleback right now, strangely enough, Bristleback is not in this fight. I think Bristleback, if he was in this fight, Blink in from the Brewmaster, gets two heroes really low right now. Oh wow, nice cancel for the Primal War. If they can get this Brewmaster before he splits, oh, nice play on the Dire side. They were able to get the Brewmaster before he splits. 1-for-1 trade-off right now, but the Brewmaster is obviously a much more important kill. Bristleback keeps in, and he should be able to clean up right now. There's no tower. Ice Blast hits Avukamu. Looks like Ogre will get picked off on the top, so disaster for the Radiant right now. Unfortunately, Brewmaster did not get off his Primal split. I guess, I'm not really sure how that got canceled. I think the, I'm not really sure what canceled. It looks like it was just a shackle shot that canceled it the first time. Well, I think it was canceled one more time before that. Sorry I missed that, folks. But, you know, unfortunately, hopefully everything will be better for the next fight just because there is going to be a Blink Dagger on the Centaur soon. So hopefully they're missing that burst damage to kind of kill those two heroes. But hopefully with the Centaur and the Brewmaster with a Blink, they can kind of get that burst damage. But no, luckily for the Tidehunter, luckily for the Dire side, the Ravage will be up, and Tidehunter is nearing his Blink Dagger as well. I think they can go on the bottom lane right now and bait out a Ravage before Tidehunter can give it for a push, and that'd be really important. But it looks like this will be another tower right now for the Dire side. So 2 towers to nothing right now. I think this is going really well for the Dire side right now. Their game plan is working as they wanted, but Brewmaster has to be careful. Smoked up Shadow Shaman. Those Brewmaster sense it. He should, just because, you know, bot would be the next target for the Dire side, and the fact that they just got mid-tower. You might imagine a lot of heroes would TP in right now. Brewmaster has to be careful. You can probably think a Blink can save him. But, yes, he knows there's a Blink Dagger right now, but he has to get out of there unless the Radiant side can respond. But Necrophos is on the top lane. Scarlet Mage is walking over. They might have to give this tower right now. Brewmaster has to get out of there. Wow, almost split preemptively. Can't get any kills. Blink. The stomp completely misses. This is a disaster for the Radiant side right now. The Brewmaster split isn't doing anything right now. And unfortunately, this will be a 1-for-0 trade with a Brewmaster split committed. That was really bad play, in my opinion, for the Brewmaster. He had an opportunity to just blink out, and I think he should take it. Ravage is used, though. They're going to kill the Pugna, so that's something that's going for them right now. Mystic Flare on the Shadow Shaman as well. Can they get the Shadow Shaman? But looks like Bristleback's going to clean up right now. 3-for-1 trade so far. And unfortunately, they cannot get the Shadow Shaman. Again, that Brewmaster ult was a little bit too premature, in my opinion. Brewmaster had the opportunity to blink out of that fight before committing that Brewmaster split, and unfortunately, the rest of the Radiant side was not in position to make anything happen with that Brewmaster split. But nice play by the Dire side right there. They kind of realized that they can force tower, and they're really just executing their game plan really well. We have a Crimson Guard right now on the Bristleback. That would negate a lot of the Brewmaster damage, as we've seen in many games before. You know, I didn't talk about this earlier, but the Crimson Guard, as a lot of people might have mentioned in Pro Kayaks, you know, really helps negate a lot of the damage from the Brewmaster splits, just because they're all physical, except for maybe one boulder toss. And that'll be a great asset to heroes like the Centaur as well. And it just, obviously, every little bit helps. And the Crimson Guard is definitely a very good item. I'm not sure if he'll be getting a hood next. Looks like he has a Robe of the Magi. I am not too big of a fan of the Blade Mail right now. I think the Blade Mail is a little bit too situational, and he won't have a lot of time to use it to its full potential. I think if you get something like a Sanjay Yasha, give him a lot more carry potential, chasing potential, that'll be way more better. He'll tank up even more with the Sanjay Yasha. And I think, I don't know, Blade Mail, I think it's really hard to take a lot of the damage that's going to be coming towards him just because things like Mystic Flare, if he's stunned with the Ogre Magi stun, Mystic Flare will be over for the most part. And I don't think the Radiant side are really looking to take on the Bristleback at any time. But so I think he should get an item that increases his DPS potential and right-click potential, like his Yasha. Maybe a Drums. It's a little bit too late for a Drums, but maybe he's just going for a Trez right now. It's really hard to read into this over the Magi. Looks like we have engagement on the top lane right now. Nice initiation. Looks like they're going to get 3 kills. Wow, nice play. They're definitely trying to get this Bristleback right now. Bristleback is facing the front right now. If they get this Bristleback, there will be a great turnaround for the Dire side right now. I have a phone call right now, but I cannot answer it. This Bristleback, will we be able to make it out alive? Obviously, the Bristleback cool spray is getting really low. Primal split for the Panda just for this Bristleback. I think this is a huge mistake for the Dire side. He has to Cyclone this Bristleback right now just so he has the ability to attack from the front. Bristleback is barely getting damage right now. They have to realize, oh my god, the spell magic is a little bit too late, but Reaper's Scythe will finish out the Bristleback, and the Shadow Shaman TVs into his death. Wow. So turnaround for the Radiant side right now, 14 to 11. Will they get to get this Jakiro? If they get a stop right now, yes they do. This will be a essentially 5-0 kill. Nice play on the Radiant side. They realized that there was no Ravage, I think. The Bristleback was not in position to fight, but Tidehunter goes in with the Pugna. Can they clean up right now? They get 2 kills already, but Centaur, can they get the kill on the Pugna? This is going to be a really important kill. Blink in from the Bristleback, double edge. Tidehunter can probably kill the Centaur if he has another Anchor Smash in about 1 second, but it looks like Centaur is juking it very nicely. He can probably get a double edge and survive on this Tidehunter. Ooh, Tidehunter blinks out, but wow, that was almost a disaster for the Radiant side. You know, they put up a really great fight there. They realized the Bristleback was not in position, and their heroes war. They got the Pugna and the Shadow Shaman and Tidehunter extremely quickly. So even when Bristleback came in, he did not have his team to support him. And again, that Pugna is so important to take on in these fights. So Necrophos and the Scarlet Mage can safely drop all their spells without dying from a Ravage, essentially. You know, that essentially a Pugna ward plus a Ravage can probably kill most of the heroes on the Radiant side, but nice play, and we have a game back on our hands, guys. So if we take a look at the gold and experience chart, we see the Radiant, after that fight, taking a pretty decent lead. They had a pretty good lead in experience this entire time. No, not really this entire time. They had about a 5k lead in experience. They have about a 3k lead in gold, and so that's what they need to kind of combat this push strat. And you know, unfortunately, the Dire lineup is very strong right now. They do not have Brewmaster split for another half a minute, so this might be another tower. But looks like Blinken on the center. They pick off the Shadow Shaman immediately. Even though the wards are dropped down, I think they should back off and kill these these wards right now. They already got 1 kill. They do not have the force, but Blinken from the Brewmaster, he does not have a primal split anytime soon. This Pugna did not die from Reaper's Scythe, but this Necrophos will. And unfortunately, that Bristleback just doing so much work, but he gets picked off from Mystic Flare. I did not see that, but Centaur's able to blink in and get another kill on the Tidehunter right now. So this chase, even without the Brewmaster split, I think Brewmaster should hold his split right now and not use it. He should blink in, blink, clap on this Pugna, blink, clap. Where is it? No, he gets hexed immediately. If they can get this kill on this Brewmaster, see, that's what I'm talking about. That mana degeneration for the Netherward, so strong right now. But looks like he has enough mana to blink in right now, but no, he has to be careful with the Pugna ward. Looks like he got picked off. No, it's still there right now, but regardless, they got some nice fights on the Radiant side. They're taking these fights, you know, with those 2 Blink Daggers that are very critical, you know, in their timing. We saw the Centaur farming on the bottom lane side of the fights, and obviously that was the correct decision, as we see that the Blink Dagger initiation, just because heroes like Pugna and Shadow Shaman are just so squishy. Even the Tidehunter can be very squishy, just because even though he gets debuffed with his Kraken Shell, he can still get bursted down super fast. And no, one thing that's a little bit unfortunate is that Avukamu keeps getting picked off in these fights. They really need a tanky Necrophos. I'm not really sure what items that he wants to go for. A lot of players will get a Ag Scepter right now, a great mix of utility from the improved ultimate as well as the tank ability from about 400, 300 HP from the raw stats of the Agnum Scepter. So we'll see what items that Avukamu wants to go for, but it's really important for the Radiant that he survives in these fights, and if he survives and gets really big, they'll essentially seal up their late game to kind of win right now. So we'll see, you know, if they can protect Avukamu in these fights, but again, it's really hard against the initiation and the power of the Dire side. The Tidehunter and Bristleback, unfortunately, just can... Oh, looks like they scoured that smoke. That'll be huge right now. Brewmaster does have his primal split, so this is going to be a disaster for the Radiant side and the Dire side, honestly, if they get caught out. But do they know which way they want to go? Avukamo has to kind of be careful right now. Skynet Mage and the Brewmaster are really separated, but looks like they just want to smoke and push. The Radiant side is definitely not ready for this at all, just because their heroes are on the other side of the map. Looks like these will be two smokes. Crescent Light, Brewmaster has to get off the split right now in this fight. Suntar will blink in first, but preemptive Ravage right now. Can Brewmaster come in with a big Brewmaster ult? Suntar and Mr. Blink gets dropped down. Big ult from the Brewmaster, but Suntar gets picked up on the background. But Bristleback just cleaning up on the backside, but 3-for-3 trade right now. But Bristleback looks like he's about to get the Necrophos, but can the Panda Split pick off the rest of the heroes? Unfortunately, these roster wards are just doing so much damage right now. But nice jukes by Avukamo, but fortunately he does not make it. One last Krill Spray, and Brewmaster needs to get out of there right now. He has to blink out. He cannot get this Pugna kill right now just because Bristleback is hot on his tail. You know, that's what I was talking about earlier. The Bristleback is just such a strong hero in these fights, just because you really want to focus heroes like the Tidehunter, like the Shadow Shaman, like the Ross, and Bristleback on the other side just does so much work cleaning up equally squishy heroes on the Radiant. So both of these sides have heroes that can really punish those squishy lineups on the other team, and Bristleback is a little bit better in my opinion because he has such sustained damage and his right click is really insane. You know, we see the Warpath almost beating him up to 400 damage. Looks like that Mantle of Intelligence was just for a Power Treads. I'm glad he didn't make a Blade or anything. I hope he makes a more carry intensive item that isn't a Blade Mail. Something like a Sanjay Yasha, something like a Armlet or a Heart can probably make him an unstoppable force in these fights. So that's what I'll be looking for Bristleback to kind of get, or for the Dire side to steal this deal. But what can the Radiant do to kind of come back? That fight, you know, was pretty even. It was a 4-for-3 trade, but the Bristleback is getting out of control. I do think, you know, the late game is on the Radiant side just because I like their, you know, their scalability. Even though I think Bristleback might be the hardest carry in the game, I think their all-around team fight is a little bit more flexible than that of the Radiant side, just because Scarlet Mage, if he gets farmed, you know, can be a really strong force in these fights. He has a lot of burst damage. Ogre Magi as well. If both those heroes get like a Yules or an Axe Scepter, they'll have enough burst damage to bring down heroes like Pugna, Shao Shaman, and Jakiro with ease. And other than the Bristleback, there is no natural BKB hero on the Dire side, and so heroes like Shadow Mage and Ogre can just take so much advantage of that. And that's why I kind of like the late game of the Radiant just a little bit more than the Dire side. But unfortunately, for the Radiant, their towers are the ones that are getting pushed down right now. Even though it's their one tower behind, a lot of the towers have taken substantial damage. Their mid, bottom, and their mid and bottom tower are quite low. That's about, you know, 10 seconds of push away from falling. And the top tier 1 is doing a little bit. The top tier 2 is doing a little bit better, but you know, one bad team fight is essentially 2 more towers for the Radiant side right now. So the Radiant side, again, have to be so careful on these initiatives. It looks like this Brewmaster might get set up by the Shadow Shaman. Let me just do a quick item check. Unfortunately, you know, the supports and squisher heroes on the Dire side have been getting picked off constantly. Stampede, Blinken, blows up the Pugna real fast, but Nether Ward, I mean, the Serpent Ward and Necromancer gets dropped with the Ravage. The Bristleback is about to die. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Wow, they pick out the Bristleback so fast. That's so important. Shadow Shaman's going to get picked off by the Bruling Split. Looks like to be a 2-for-0 trade so far for the Radiant side. Look, can they get the tower? Will they be able to get the tower out of this? That is the big question. Just because obviously it's good to fight and delay the push. They use the Ravage, which is obviously a win. This is definitely a big win for the Radiant side. But if they can get a tower, it'll just be an even bigger win, just because they have the ability to push high ground now and not have to constantly try to defend these pushes. But, you know, that was still a great victory. Ravage is used. That's so important to delay the push on the Dire side right now. And, you know, another good thing is that I think Necrophos survived in that fight. He's about 1.5k gold right now. And Bristleback, on the other hand, died. I'm not really sure how he took that much damage. I think it was from a Mystic Flare on the front. So Bristleback has to be more careful on taking all of these spells to his front. If he took that to his back, he would still be about half HP. And honestly, he can probably clean up from there. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And Radiant was able to get a very nice 2-for-0 kill on the Dire side. And as long as they keep getting these kills, the Radiant will be able to delay the push until they have enough damage and tank ability to survive through the burst damage of the Dire side from the Ravage, Pugna Blast. Stampede goes on Dire side right now. We have a 3 against 4 right now. No, 4 against 4 right now. It looks like that was a wasted Stampede. That's unfortunate, but they gotta fight. There's no Ravage. There's no Brewmaster split, but how will this fight break out? Looks like they're gonna retreat right now. I'm not really sure if that was the wisest choice, but it looks like if they did not have Necrophos and the Bristleback TP'd in, I guess that was the proper choice. But, you know, there's a lot of burst damage against these squishy heroes like we've seen all of these fights. Blink, Clap, on the Brewmaster, Blink Stomp, and Double Edge on the Centaur can essentially just kill 2 heroes outright, especially with a Scourge Mage ultimate. So the burst damage from both of these teams are very scary, and I think the initiation and positioning, like most Dota games, is the name of the game right now. I really think that if they can get a great Stampede into a Double Edge and Clap, this should be an easy win for the Radiant. But like that, nice play by the Centaur right now, realizing that, you know, a lot of teams just TV bomb to defend that push, and so there's maybe gonna be 1 or 2 heroes best at top. I think they saw the Shadow Shaman and they realized that Shadow Shaman probably couldn't stop them. But wow, tier 2 tower top taken for the Radiant side. Looks like they're gonna be in control of this game. If you look at the golden EXP, they're heavily in favor, about 10k for both of those charts. But you really can't count the Dire out right now just because their lineup is still very scary. The Bristleback fallen off a little bit since he's died, but he's still, you know, still does a lot of damage right now. Bristleback, will he get picked off right now? Is there a blink? There's gonna be a blink with ultimates all online for the Dire side, except for the Necrophos Reaper side. But will they wait for the Reaper side, or will they continue to just farm it up and delay this push? You know, Ravage is up online. It looks like both teams might want to wait. Well, looks like we have a pause right now for the Radiant side. 2 minutes saying. So let me just do a quick item check right now and see where these teams are at. Necrophos, you know, I was saying his item progression was very lacking earlier, but he was able to survive that mid-fight right down here and kill the Bristleback, and now he has an Ag Scepter, so that's really important just to make sure the other team does not have buyback and cannot defend these pushes. Over Magi, unfortunately, oh, never mind, almost has an Ag Scepter. That'll be very good at bursting down heroes like Bristleback, first and foremost, if the heroes like Pugnar have already been killed. We have a Pipe, very good pickup here on the Centaur. Blink Panda is a little bit less item progression than you might want. There's a Blink and a Blast right now. Not too bad, obviously. Looks like Strath Mage will probably going for a Yule Scepter is my guess with this Sobi Mask. On the other side, we have Bristleback working on a Pipe. That's that Crimson Guard. Shadow Shaman working on an Urn, and that's not what you want to be talking about. You want him to be getting a Blink, getting a Agnum Scepter, but a lot of these squishy heroes like Jakiro and the Shadow Shaman have just getting killed in these fights so fast. So, you know, the item progression on the Dire side is definitely falling behind that of the Radiant side. Obviously, a 10k gold lead will tell that story as well. So, this Pugna will, I think, really want that BKB as soon as he can. I've been putting up this last hit graph, but what's really important, obviously, is this network graph. We see the top 3 heroes on this graph belong to the Radiant. That's very important in not getting killed by these pushes, but I think I've talked about that enough, and honestly, we're on a stage where the Radiant side is strong enough with their 10k gold lead to be the ones on the aggression. So I really think, you know, the Dire side can take a very good fight. Maybe they can burst down the Necrophos extremely fast and basically somehow cancel the blinks on the Tidehunter and the Stampede and essentially avoid their influence while they burst down the Necrophos. They can definitely win a fight, especially with heroes like a Bristleback, even though he's actually pretty far behind right now, even though he's pretty high in net worth, but he really doesn't have the damage as he might like, just because a lot of the heroes on the Radiant are a lot more tanks than were a couple minutes ago. And you know, I said the Panda didn't have a lot of items, but looks like he has a lot of net worth. So Assault Cuirass coming up for the Panda, he's just about 1.3k away from that item. That will be a very strong pickup against heroes like the Bristleback and the Pugna Ward. So, you know, the Radiant side is obviously very much ahead right now. They're the ones pushing the tier 2 towers. The tables have completely turned, and that Assault Cuirass will probably seal the deal. It'll just take out the Bristleback and probably cut about 33% of its effectiveness right now. And with that, the Dire side is just lacking so much damage with that Pipe pickup and the constant healing from the Necrophos. So we'll see if they want to finish tier 2 right now. Ravage is up. It looks like Pugna's farming. They have to be careful not to lose this Bristleback right now. If he gets picked off, that'll be disaster. Blink in on this Bristleback. Pugna is out of position entirely. Ravage is used to just sit as Bristleback, but this Pugna is not in this fight right now, and Bristleback is almost dead. That's not what they want to see. Bristleback gets killed by the Reaper side. All the spells are being used right now. Macro Pyre, see all these spells being used, but Tidehunter, will you go down? Looks like a Mystic Punch will bring him down. It looks like this Radiant is running away with this fight right now. Even though the Pugna Ward did a lot of damage, but the Radiant side is come chasing with the ultimate, with their blinks and stuns. Sunshine misses the clap, unfortunately, but gets the kill on the Tidehunter nonetheless. But will the Dire side get anything in return? We have buyback from the Tidehunter, and they definitely have the heroes to clean up Companion goes down right now, but can Tanner get a Blink Anger Smash on the Centaur or on this Necrophos right now? Necrophos would be a very valued kill right now, but Necrophos almost still has 30 seconds for his map, has a lot of mana, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the sustained damage. Oh, Ice Path on the center before he gets his stomp off. Unfortunately, his Tidehunter gets the deep. Oh, fortunately for him, he gets his deep up and will not get double edge. So this Pugna Ward is about to go down, or can they defend the Pugna Ward? No, looks like Ogre goes in. What a man. And unfortunately, will he go down right now? Looks like Dual Breath only level 1. Centaur blinks back in. Gets the kill on the Jakiro from the Heartstopper Aura. And looks like, unfortunately, that will bring Necrophos right back up. His Reaper Scythe is cooling down right now. They have to be careful to realize that the Reaper Scythe is about to cool down. If he gets a Reaper Scythe right now, Necrophos will have so much regeneration. Boom! No kill on the Reaper Scythe, but looks like they might get a kill on the Pugna instead. Can't Pugna to cruff himself. No, he doesn't. Not in time. It looks like the burn damage from the Ogre Magic brings him down, and unfortunately, this might be out of the reach for the raid right now. There's a buyback on some of these heroes, and all 5 heroes on the raid side are up right now, and they can get a Rax right now. Even though there's a buyback from the hero, you can't really do anything. He's just a Liquid Fire and an Ice Path right now. You know, that's obviously 2 spells, but a hero has 4 spells, and if a hero can't live up to this worth of 4 spells, it's obviously not as good as you might want for that hero. But regardless, looks like that buyback will defend the push, but unfortunately, they just used so much. They used, I think, 2 buybacks, and they lost about, I think, 3 or 4 heroes in that fight. So the Dire is in such a big deficit right now, but if they can pick up the Centaur, this will be a great way to have them come back. Looks like Centaur, nice play, realizing that they're out of stuns on the Dire side for these 3 heroes, and Brewmaster splits his shoes right now with the Ogre Magi, I believe. Can they get a kill on the Bristleback or on the Shadow Shaman? The roster words, they'll get Room Aspect. But this Ogre has to be careful not to get killed by the wards. He might go down. There's a haste room though, but this Bristleback is not fearing the Broodlings at all. Strath Mitch comes in, but so these 2 heroes alone can't really kill the Bristleback. But this Pugna is in danger right now. But looks like he should be able to get away if he decrabs Blast and survive. That was a very slow Blast and Drain. That was a little bit weird from the Pugna, but looks like Tidehunter gets picked off on the background by something. No, sorry, the Shadow Shaman got. Never mind. My B. Looks like the Stampede will be used to disengage. The Brewmaster gets away safely, but is it Alucard who wants the Reaper Scythe? I bet. Yes, he does. He gets it. Wow, that we're doing so much damage, but regardless, he has that nice regeneration. Bristleback has to take hits from the back, or else he's gonna get bursted down, and he takes hits from the front. Even a Prison Guard and a Cloud won't save him. So I think this, Bristleback going down, this might be 2 or 3 lanes of racks for the raid inside right now. Ogre Magi is a little bit low. I'm sure he'll make his way back to the fountain, and he's almost at a boost of travel though, so he can probably boost the travel in with that item scepter now online. Strath Mage with that Yules, like I mentioned earlier, and the items and the farm is just all on the raid side right now. If we take a look at the graphs, it'll be very ugly, 20 to 25k lead for the Radiant side on both the gold and the EXP chart. So this game, unfortunately, might be out of reach. You see Necrophos 1800 HP, that was substantially much harder to burst down since he was without the Axe Scepter, and unfortunately it looks like the time of initiation for the Dire side unfortunately has passed, Their tank, Ogre Magi, Centaur, Necrophos, 2k HP, these guys are so tank. Tidehunter does not have a Refresher Ravage, which she really wants right now. They need that extra damage, they need that level 3 Ravage, but they don't have it right now, and unfortunately they do not have the damage. Bristleback unfortunately just died I think too many times. He's going for a pipe, so that only helps him survive, but again, there's just not enough damage in these fights. Bristleback had to have been the one to go for that right-click damage to kill heroes like that Necrophos, but, unfortunately, they just lost a little bit too many fights, but I don't want to take away from the Radiant. They had some really great fights, especially in that mid-tier 1 tower here. We saw how the heroes on the Radiant just kept going in and diving that tier 1 tower and just picking off the Dire side one by one. I think that was really the chance where the Radiant side began to have a chance in this fight. In this game, just because they were really behind. They were about 3 kills down, and they were going to get all the tier 1 towers pushed, but that mid-fight and that mid-aggression was so clutch. When they got the Blink Daggers from the Panda and the Brewmaster, that was just a whole other level of initiation and burst damage. So, I was questioning the might of the Radiant lineup because I really thought the Dire had a really well planned out lineup. I really thought a farm Bristleback could carry the Dire side, even if they falter a little bit, but unfortunately the Bristleback is nowhere as near farmed enough. He needs to be like network leader right now with a SNY, a Abyssal, stuff, right-click items like that. But unfortunately, he does not. And there's just no damage right now to answer the Necrophos. There's no damage to kind of respond to the burst damage as well from the Radiant side. Hero and Shao Summer are still extremely squishy heroes. And we have a Blink in right now on the panel with that Ogre Magi skill cast. Blink in from the center. This is just easy pickings on these really squishy support heroes. I expect to see a GG coming soon, you know, in the next couple minutes right now. And I think, you know, there's really not much to say. Both sides played a great game, but the Radiant side just took a lot better fights in the mid game. They were not afraid of the Ravage. They went on the offensive with their double blinks, and that really just, that aggression and that timing and that team play really just sealed the deal for the Radiant side right now. So I'm just going to get a quick drink and let the rest of this game play out. Alright, we have a GG call right now. So, this is game 1 again, guys. Goes to Pizza Toast. They're up 1-0 against Farm and Feed in the winner's bracket final of the Illinois Dota 2 League. So, we have game 2 coming up, guys. I'll probably stop the video here, and I think one bot is very clunky, to be honest. But if both teams want to play right now, I guess I'll keep it on. So, I guess I'll just keep it on right now. So, congratulations to the Radiant side for winning the first game of this winner's bracket final for the Illinois Dota 2 League. Again, my name is Morgan, and I'm the one casting the tournament for these last few weeks. If you guys have any kind of criticism for my casting, feel free to tell me, you know, either on the Illinois Dota 2 Facebook page or on the Twitch chat or something. You know, feel free. I'm usually kind of watch and try to improve my casting. You know, I missed a lot of kills in the early game, but that's something that just needs practice, obviously. So I'll just be taking a quick break from commentating, but I'll let this VOD run. Alright, so I guess I'll just keep this VOD in one big chunk. That would be kind of annoying, honestly, to upload, but meh. Actually, no, I'm gonna stop this VOD. See you guys. Alright, guys, welcome back to Game 2 between Piece of Toast versus Farm and Feed. This is again the winner's bracket final for the Illinois Dota 2 League. Grand prize of $250 for the winning team. So that's a nice, no, 5-star restaurant for the winning team for each player. But regardless, this is gonna be a quick spoiler for Game 1. If you don't want to listen to this, bleep out your ears for like the next 10 seconds. But right now we have a Piece of Toast, 1 game advantage right now. They won the first game in a pretty convincing fashion, even though the Dire side, which was Farm and Feed, had a very strong pushing lineup with heroes like Jakiro, Pugna, and Shao Shaman, and they got a really nice early game lead. But unfortunately for them, they had some really bad mid-game team fights in the face of the double Brewmaster Blink and the double Blink from the Brewmaster and the Centaur that really kind of had that burst damage to burst down a lot of the pushing heroes on the Dire side before they were able to get anything rolling. So, you know, we saw some great play from Piece of Toast right now. We'll see if Farm and Feed can answer back and get a win to tie up the series. You know, I really want to see this series go to 3 games, just because, you know, these are probably the 2 best teams in the league, and it'd be really great to see kind of some back and forth action. But let's get right into the picks and bans right now. We have very standard bans, but looks like the Radiant side is scared of the Pugna, so that's pretty interesting, to be honest. They don't want to face that push strategy, but nonetheless, the Dire side still get a Jakiro, so it looks like pushing is definitely a very high possibility for the dire side right now, and we have a response of Scarlet Mage and Faceless Void. So very common kind of combo, easy Chronosphere into that Scarlet Mage ultimate, very strong, a lot of damage, can really stop the push in their tracks. So we'll see if Farm and Feed right now has a kind of a strategy to kind of combat the Radiant strategy to combat their push. Last game it was to fight with 2 Blink Daggers. Let's see if they can kind of avoid that this game if they want to do a pushing strategy. But Shadow Shaman's second pick right now, that's very strange to be honest. I feel like that's a pick that you can really get away with in the 4th or 5th pick. There's no reason why to pick it early. I mean, obviously there's some good synergy between Jakiro and the Shadow Shaman, but if those two are the supports and it isn't a core Jakiro, Shadow Shaman and Jakiro have lackluster damage if Jakiro doesn't go dual breath, if Shadow Shaman does not go max poison, Shadow Poison. So we'll see how they want to use the Shadow Shaman. I think Shadow Shaman is good against heroes like the Scarlet Mage, obviously. Disrupt the hero that gets Mystic Flared, disrupt the hero that gets Chronosphered. So they have that going for them, but I think they probably could have sneaked that pick in a little bit better, just because you don't really need to show a Shadow Shaman right now. I think there are similar heroes like Ventral Spear that do a similar job. Obviously, Shadow Shaman doesn't put himself in danger like Ventral Spear does, but looking at some of these bans right now, we have a Razor and Ember Spirit banned out for the against the Radiant side, and a Mirana banned out. So Razor, obviously very strong hero. I think the Ember Spirit's a little bit interesting. Maybe they're afraid just because Ember Spirit is a very strong anti-push hero, obviously, with the Sleight of Fist, Battle Fury, and big crits can obviously kill the entire pushing squad or just stop them dead in their tracks, make them all solo they can't pick. But we have another combo hero right now for the Radiant with that Faceless Void. We have the Witch Doctor, so the supporting duo of the Radiant is pretty squishy, but at the same time they have a lot of DPS if they can get very fast levels. I think that'll be very important for this game, that the Radiant supports get a lot of levels. Although I honestly say that for every game, so meh, whatever. But they really want the Scarlet Mage Ultimate. I think a little bit more important than the Witch Doctor Ultimate to be level 6 first. But we kind of see the hand of the Radiant right now. They're gonna have most likely a safe lane Faceless Void, just because you really want that farm Void. He is most likely the #1 hero. You don't really see off-lane Faceless Void too much in this league, just because the Faceless Void has such a high impact as the 1 position. So I expect to see him again as the farming Void, but we'll see, what Dire want to pick up in response. We pick up a Morphling. That's pretty interesting. I think that's not the strongest pick. They definitely have a lot more late games than they do for the last game. But, Morphling is very weak to heroes like Scarlet Mage and the Faceless Void. Even if he's Strength Morphling in a Chronosphere with the Mystic Flare on him, with the Death Ward on him, he'll die in a heartbeat. And Morphling is by no means a naturally tanky hero. Obviously, his tankiness all comes from his morph. But, Morphling can be strong. He has the ability to maybe assassinate some of these support heroes very quickly before he
5 seconds remaining.
before they ever drop anything. But if he gets a EB without a BKB to back him up, he can just die so quickly to a Scarlet Mage. He goes in, Wave Swarm, shotguns, Scarlet Mage. A hero that isn't Scarlet Mage. Scarlet Mage just comes on and Mystic Flares his ass. And no, that's a dead Morphling right there. Just because he's a third up. So he has to be careful. But luckily, he has some decent supports to kind of bail him out in these fights. Jakiro, Ice Path, very good for shutting down a team fight if they're clumping up too hard. Shadow Shaman again with that disruption, just saving the Morphling's life so he can waveform out or something. And Shadow Shaman's pretty against the Faceless Void as well. The Purge is pretty decent to kind of halt his movement speed. Obviously not as good as in the Chronosphere, just because I don't think movement speed can get slowed in the Chronosphere, just like the Lycan Ult. But still, without a Chronosphere, any kind of Purge can be decent against the Faceless Void. And one thing I didn't talk about is Jakiro. It can be very good against the Witch Doctor as well, just because that long range Ice Path can easily shut down the Witch Doctor ultimate, and Ice Path has a very short cooldown. So even if you kind of blow an Ice Path, maybe just wait a couple of seconds before you kind of back into the fight, and then boom, you have another Ice Path to go. So Jakiro maybe have to shut down the Witch Doctor from getting off a full ultimate, but looks like they have to worry about something else right now. They have a Bat Rider. 4th pick for the Radiant side. A little bit of an extra initiation. We have another combo for the Witch Doctor and the Scarlet Mage. Lasso into Mystic Flare. Again, very strong. We've seen that time and time again.
Radiant team back.
You know, how strong that burst damage is from the Scarlet Mage. And, you know, that's why he's one of the top tier supports right now. Just because he's a hero who can just kill cores easily. We have the dire side, farm and feed, going back to that Bristleback. I still very much like the Bristleback in any game. I think Bristleback can be very strong against the Scarlet Mage and the Faceless Void if he is facing back in the Chronosphere or something. You know, unfortunately he has a lasso, but I don't think lasso changes the direction if they're dragged, so Bristleback can, you know, be very strong in this fight. I mean, in this game. You know, one here that's very good against the Bristleback is Legion Commander, just because you can duel and face him, force him to face the front. So maybe we'll see a Legion Commander last pick on the Radiant. But, you know, what the dire side missing right now is honestly someone to just really control the tempo in this game. They have like 2 pretty decently strong cores, but they're missing a very strong mid hero right now. I really think they need something to allow the Bristleback and Morphling just to hit people in the middle lane. That could be a hero like the Puck, you know, that improved Coil can be very good against this team. You know, Puck is another great way to kind of burst down the Scarlet Mage and the Witch Doctor in these fights. Another stun, another silence that kind of cancel and just prolong the effectiveness. But, you know, unfortunately, Puck isn't that good if he gets caught out by the Faceless Void as any hero, and Puck, you know, can get silenced by that Scarlet Mage and be very vulnerable. So I'm not really sure what the dire side want to pick right now. Maybe a hero like the Invoker can be very strong here. Invoker obviously has so much control in these fights. A lot of damage. You know, Shadow Demon, Invoker, we've seen that combo time and time again. Very strong, especially with that Soul Catcher. That's a dead hero 100% of the time. But, no, we'll see what they want. I think Invoker can be very strong here. He definitely has the late game to back him up. We have a Medusa, so, wow, we have 2 very strong late gamers from the Radiant side. I like the Medusa a lot here just because heroes like the Bristleback just, you know, get in your face, and the Medusa really just stops all that aggression in its track. Medusa's also very tanky, so he's not a hero like the Faceless Void that can get burst down by the Morphling. Medusa, you know, is also pretty decent against the rest of the team just because the burst damage without the Ethereal Blade on the Morphling is quite low, and Medusa can definitely Stone Gaze and TP out through that if he wants to, and it's just good to have a little bit of late game assurance in the form of the Medusa, just because the 3 supports, or quote-unquote supports, plus the Bat Rider if you count him, just have a lot of control. They can go for a lot of great games around the map and just burst down heroes with that Mystic Flare. So definitely the Radiant have a very well-rounded lineup in my opinion. They have great team fight, decent game, decent team fight. Their lanes should be pretty decent as well. I don't think this Bat Rider will do so well, but we have a last pick Silencer. I think Silencer is a pretty good pick off here just because the fact that he can interrupt a initiation from the Bat Rider, obviously, but, you know, Silencer is very fragile, and if he gets caught out from a lasso from the Faceless Void, he is just done. And if you put so many eggs in the Silencer basket to kind of win these fights, just because the Global Silence is just such a long cooldown right now, I really think, you know, 1 or 2 misplays from the dire side can really, you know, be disastrous for them. But, you know, I have confidence in both teams to give a really good game right now. But let me just, screw introducing the teams. I'm sure you have seen VOD 1 if you guys are watching this. So we have a Bat Rider on the off lane. I think Bat Rider will have a very tough time just because, you know, a combination like Disrupt with the Last Word can be very strong.
The battle begins.
For that damage, and I think heroes like Silencer just do so much damage depending on what build he goes for. They really just solo zone out a Bat Rider. Bat Rider is obviously a pretty decent laning hero if any of you guys have ever played him, which I'm sure you have. Sticky Napalm is no joke in the lane, but Silencer is just has so much damage early on for an intelligence hero. And honestly, I think a farming Silencer in this game can really be what they need. I think if Silencer goes something like a Midas Axe or a Midas Hex, maybe that's what they need to kind of out-carry the team and get their heroes online at an earlier stage. So they might not expect it, but we have a mid-Medusa up against mid-Morphling, so this will definitely be, these heroes will really want to farm. And no, I don't expect too many kills in this lane right now, just because both of these heroes want to farm. Both of these heroes have some way to get away, but we have a Void right now. It looks like we have a possibly double lane. It looks like these support heroes are doing stacking right now for the Medusa. Obviously, Medusa great at clearing stacks. Obviously, split shot. That's exactly what it does. It's clears stacks. Okay, but but because of that, Faceless Void is having a tough time on the bottom lane right now, just because Bristleback and Jakiro more than enough. Jakiro, I don't know why he's not liquid firing this bottom tier 1 tower right now. What is he saving that liquid fire for? It's not too much harass against the Void right now. I mean, why are you not liquid firing this tower? He could have came back and used another liquid fire, but looks like they do not value pushing this tower as much as I thought. But we have a poll going on for the Dire side. Really important again for that EXP. And for, I think, Shadow Demon, I think it's a support that is a little bit underestimated in terms of damage. 4 stack or 5 stack on the Shadow Poison. The max Shadow Poison do so much damage. We have a attack right now on the bottom lane. Looks like Jakiro possibly caught out with the Scarlet Mage. Looks like it'll be first blood for Form and Feed to the Void. No, nonetheless, this will be disastrous. For
What's the green room do again?
I'll join you in death, old girl. My shadow does that to people.
Consider yourself denied.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pictured it.
I use my powers wisely. Take that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
done right now. Sorry, just a little bit pause. My casting. And Bat Rider has a blink dagger, but
Dire's
no
middle tower
blink
is
inside.
under
I think
attack.
that'll be very important to get that early blink, as it is for basically any hero that wants an early blink. But the thing is, oh, sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't miss anything, but yeah. So like I said earlier, the Bat Rider does not have any stacks to catch him up. He has one big stack, but I don't know if that's enough right now. But luckily for them, the Faceless Void is doing very well. The Medusa is doing pretty decent. Whoa, Medusa get killed right now. No, looks like one hit away. Oh, Shadow Poison gets the kill. Wow, nice play by the Shadow Demon right now. Looks like, is he max Shadow Poison? No, he's max Soul Catcher, which I really think the max Shadow Poison is a little bit better. I missed the top kill on the Jakir. Looks like it was just a cast. Concussive shot right there. Nothing too special. Nothing too special, but you know, like I was talking about, the Faceless Void doing very, very well against this Bristleback, which I'm a little bit surprised that Bristleback honestly is just not doing as well in this way. Obviously, Void got a couple kills in the bottom lane. He has a Chronosphere that Bristleback has to be careful of, but still, you know, Bristleback is a beast in my book. But obviously, he has his shortcomings, and right now he's a little bit down, and it looks like Faceless Void is kind of just manhandling him right now. But Silencer going for, ooh, looks like I missed that Shadow Demon kill. I'm not really sure where that happened. Looks like, oh, Flash is blood. Chronosphere on the bot lane. Sorry, I missed out. I was looking in the mid lane. You see the Morphling gets zoned out right now. You know, one thing to mention about is that Medusa is very good in the lane against the Morphling, even though I think both of them are pretty decent against one another. But the Morphling needs mana as much as pretty much like any hero. He's probably one of the most mana-hungry heroes in the game. But, you know, I'm surprised. This Faceless Void is just doing so well right now. Jesus, getting essentially 3 kills on the bot lane. He has a massive madness, I imagine. Yes, he does. So this Bristleback has to be careful. If he gets caught in the back, Bristleback does not have a Vanguard right now. So again, he has to be very important. But can they just kill on this Void? No. Easy time walk out. Wasted time for the Morphling. Wasted time for the Bristleback. While the other heroes on the other lanes, you know, even though the Silencer is farming well, he has a very, you know, hard time making an impact this early. It looks like he's going for a max word and max blaze build. I think that's my personal favorite build right now, just because that's just so much GPS that they're missing right now, just because Morphling and Bristleback, their starts are very questionable. Bristleback will, he gets picked off right now. Looks like Faceless Void doesn't want to go with the Massive Madness and just bash him down, but Chronosphere will be up in a minute, and again, Faceless Void is just out of control right now. If you look at the net worth, he's 1.3k ahead of any other hero in the game, and this early on is just huge. Such a fast Massive Madness just means that no one can safely be in the Void's lane. You can easily 1v2, 1v3, and get out of there, just because the disable and catch on the Dire side is very weak. Shaman has the best catch. Jakiro looks like he's going for 2 Ice Path. I know, I don't want to say it, but Max Dual Breath, in my opinion, is the way to go for Jakiro, or Max Liquid Fire. Level 2 Ice Path, 0.4 seconds more than level 1. Obviously, the benefit there is the fact that you can get a 3rd level in Ice Path, which is 0.8 seconds better, but I don't think Ice Paths are what they need to win this game right now. They need damage from the Dual Breath. Even though Jakiro, you know, might get killed by Faceless Void, and maybe that's why you want a max Ice Path to save the heroes in the Chronosphere from the Faceless Void, but the damage, in my opinion, is a little bit lacking right now on the Dire side. Silencer, though, will have the opportunity to contribute a big part of the damage if he gets really farmed. He goes in for an Agnum Scepter right now, as you might expect. Refresher Agnum's very standard, but the thing is that Silencer, if he gets caught out, will still die. So heroes like the Bat Rider, if he close to his blink right now, he's still about 1.2k away. So, but you know, Silencer is very susceptible to getting picked off from both the Faceless Void and the Bat Rider. Even just to a normal gank with like the Witch Doctor and the Sky Affirmation, easily just pick them down. Looks like they're gonna go on the bottom lane right now. You see a ping. Looks like he's attacking from the side, a little bit out of position from the Void. Looks like they get the kill pretty easily. Looks like can they get away right now? Shadow Demon keeping him, but low on health and a little bit too late. So Faceless Void just having what he wants in this bottom lane. I'm not sure what Ami wants to go for. In my opinion, I think just because he's so ahead and it's just so hard for the Dire side to catch out the Void in the Chronosphere, he wants to go for a heavy damage item like a Maelstrom. I think that will be the best bet for the Faceless Void in this game. Just more damage than the Dire can handle. They're not very squishy. Bristleback
Radiant's
you know,
top
not
tower
the
has
lead
fallen.
he had in the last game. You know, last game Bristleback at this time had a Vanguard, but right now he doesn't. So Bristleback, 800 HP, level 1 Bristleback, very squishy. So Void can essentially take control of this game. You know, there's no other way to say it, but he can basically have a whole lane to himself and just not be punched at all, just because it's just so hard to catch the Void. And he's so tanky. He has, you know, a decent amount of HP. He has level 1 backtrack. Even if you disrupt into an ice path that's 1 second stable, you would have to blow essentially a global silence to kill a Void. And even then, the rest of the team, Medusa is getting farmed, Bat Rider is getting closer to his Blink Dagger, and so it's just tough times ahead for the Dire side right now. But I think they still have a chance. 1 or 2 good team fights can just really change the game around if they keep picking off heroes like the Medusa before she gets anything going. Disruption into an Ice Path right now. That's a good combo down. See, they gotta figure out before she gets the Mystic Flare, the Stone Gaze down right now. But it looks like she gets the Stone Gaze off, and that's just an easy retreat for the Medusa. They don't have enough damage right now. Medusa has 1 level under Mana Shield. Looks like that was enough. You know, with more points, that kill is even more impossible. 1 waveform, 1 soul catcher is just not enough right now to get these kills. They really need damage from an outside source. But Medusa even have the balls to just go back right in front of these heroes and essentially just turn around and just blow these heroes out of the lane. Excuse me, guys, but you know, this game is just going all sorts of well for the Radiant side right now. About 2 to 3k ahead in terms of net worth and experience. But again, the major problem is the damage is just lacking on the Radiant side. Obviously, when Sire Sensor gets his Ag Scepter, heroes like the Witch Doctor and their Scarlet Mage will take a lot of damage. But one thing is that he has level 1 Curse of the Side right now. I did not notice that before, but even if he has the Agnum Scepter early on, he has no Curse of the Silence. So obviously that's kind of gravy on top of the silence, but that's about 300 damage and mana loss for the other team, and that's just so important. I think in hindsight, even though Max Word is very good, I think this point of Glaives needs to have been on this Curse of Silence, just because 1 level of Curse of Silence can make such a big difference in this game right now. That can just take away enough mana to cast a very crucial spell like a Chronosphere, like a Mystic Flare, like a Stone Gaze. But, you know, unfortunately, Faces Void right now, going for a backstab. Will he be able to get this Shakiro? Looks like they scout him out right now. They have to be careful not to clump up into a 2-man Chronosphere right now, but Faces Void biding his time right now. Bat Rider with a Blink Dagger. It's nighttime, unfortunately, so his vision is greatly reduced. This Bat Rider has to be, this Shakira has to be careful right now. They shouldn't even have to use a Chronosphere right now until once someone comes to help. Very easy kill. Will they be able to get a tower? No, the Dire side is up 1 tower to nothing, but that lead is very small in terms of the kills, in terms of the scoreboard right now, but you know, unfortunately, the Dire side is not going to get any pickoffs on these crucial heroes. We're going to get pickoffs on the Void and the Medusa, as you might expect, but that's not happening. Medusa has her drums, phase boots. That's pretty decent
Dire's
farm,
middle tower
especially
is
since, you
under
know, mid
attack.
lane had some pressure, but except from the Morphling,
Dire's
so she's doing
structures
very well
are
to farm up
fortified.
in the mid lane. But, you know, obviously this Void is just so impressive right now by nature of his lane and the rotations from his supports. I think his supports have been very spot on in this game. They were there for the first blood in the bottom lane when they needed to. They got a kill on top when they needed to. They helped out mid just a little bit. And, you know, they realized that the Void against the Bristleback with his early lead is more than enough match for the Bristleback, to my surprise. And they just really helped out on the other lanes where they were weak, essentially. The top lane, for example. And they just really forced the supports of the Dire side to respond instead of having the supports from the Dire side to be the ones being the aggressors. But it looks like we have a Purge on the Shadow Demon, but he's dead right now. Shadow Demon, does he have King Disrupt himself in time? But no. Looks like they might get a kill on the Scarlet Mage with this Bristleback. This Bristleback should have more than enough to take out this Smash. The Void will just go on the Void, the Jakir right now, but he has to be careful fighting this huge-ass Bristleback. Bristleback has a chance to catch up. He has to get more Warpath right now. But Cask on the Dire side right now. Bristleback has to be careful. But looks like he has the ability to get a kill right now with a couple, 1 or 2 more Cool Sprays. Oh, that Cool Spray got backtracked. Lucky for the Void right now. He has to be careful. He has to turn back right now. Ooh, that's a little bit unfortunate for the Void. That lucky backtrack on that Cool Spray, and Bristleback took a little too many, too many hits on his front. You know, we saw that first hit right here be kind of on the front, but, you know, maybe he had a chance to cue a second Cool Spray. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen, so Faces Void gets another kill right there. He has a Maelstrom and a Yasha. I like that build a lot. I think if he really wants to end this game right now, get a BKB. He has enough damage, enough attack speed, enough mobility to kind of chase and just kill a bunch of heroes on the dire side. But a BKB, when the ultimate comes up from the silencer, will really seal the deal. But oh wow, that silencer just so squishy. Doesn't even have his axe scepter right now. He was desperately trying to get it. He's still about 1,000 gold away right now, and even with the axe scepter, I think it's looking really grim just because heroes like Medusa are very tanky. Heroes like the Void, I think, will have a BKB soon. I think that's definitely the smartest item choice right now. But that global silence will definitely keep Scarlet Mage out of the fights. But it looks like we have a initiation from both teams. Lasso on the Shadow Demon right now, but Juicer just pops his ultimate right now, and Bristleback casting it out there. We have a TB in from the Jakiro, TB in from the Morphling. Ice Path, Morphling comes in right now, but he has to be careful not to eat a Mystic Flare or too much damage right now. Let's see if a Replicate up. I don't think so. I don't see a Replicate up right now, but wow, that Morphling, Hand of Midas, very greedy, very greedy. But will that, will the Dire side survive till the late game for that Hand of Midas to pay off? Medusa going for a Scotty right now. That's a little bit interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the Scotty first, but obviously he has so much backup right now that he doesn't have to carry the burden of carrying the team by himself. So Scotty will give him enough tank, but unfortunately just not enough regen. I like the Lincoln Sphere just a whole lot to stop things like the Personal Science, but Chrono Sphere on the top lane, TPN right now. The person who's TPN has to be careful. Xiao Shaman might just die outright, but we have Bristleback coming in right now. Will they get a purge on this Void? Void is very fast with Madness with the Yasha, so unfortunately, clean kill for the Silencer, and that's the problem when Void just gets so fat. You just can't catch up to him. He can get a kill and get out, and everything is just going right for the Radiant side right now. Bat Rider almost has his 4 staff. Just do a quick item comparison right now. Medusa again going for that Scotty. We have an Urn on the Scarlet Mage. I like that a lot. I think Urn is way more important than a mana boost right now, just because if they take a fight, they can get Urn chargers and just take a tower. That's why the Urn is just so much better, in my opinion, than a mana boost in this situation right now. Obviously, he's itching for the mana, but he has a no talisman and some regen from the Urn, so it's not too bad. But Blink 4 staff on the Bat Rider, that's completed. Places Void with, I'm imagining, decent amount of gold right now, but we're not sure what he's going to get. Witch Doctor going for that Axe Scepter. Obviously, he's going to be, that surprise damage for whatever reason if they might need it. But on the Dire side, we have a Silencer almost with the Axe, almost for quite a while now. But jump in on the Shadow Shaman right now. He can't even get a Disruption off. Wow, that Shadow Shaman just went down so fast, but we have a Blink Lasso in on the Jakiro right now. Looks like Bristleback will probably go down too, but Silencer comes down. What? Way too late. 3 heroes dead. They get a Witch Doctor in return, I think. But that's just too little too late. 4 heroes going down. The Silencer goes down, and well, with this Global Silence, this is just going bad real fast. But, unfortunately, for the Dire side, Silencer used his Global Silence, I really think he should have just not committed it at all. And just try to take a fight with an Ag Global Silence, but that'll just be more time for the Radiant side to just push all these towers down just because they have such an important lead. Even if they don't have Chrono Sphere, which they do in this case, they don't need that advantage. Mantis style, very good item. Like a BKB, it stops the slides, which is what he really needs. But if they can force out a Void Manta before the Global Silence comes out, before the Chrono Sphere comes out, that might be the only chance the Dire side to have to win this game. They gotta get Void silenced up before he can drop his Chrono Sphere. But even then, Match of Madness, Maelstrom, so much damage right now. We see a Chrono Sphere on the top lane. Xiao Shaman gets blown up right now. This Bristleback facing the front, unfortunately, is about to get killed right now as well. Bristleback, will he be able to survive? Looks like he has to be careful. Vincent Void, wow, Vincent Void, what are you doing? Just hit the Bristleback. Looks like Vincent Void, if he gets killed, this would be a huge screech right now. Vincent Void surviving till the very end. Wow, looks like he's able to survive, but Jakiro can't catch up with the big ice path. Vincent Void, wow, just turning and hitting creeps. So much balls from the Vincent Void, but it looks like there's no point not to, just because the big damage dealers like the Bristleback are out of the picture. Silencer has to come go back. Oh, nice dodge. Wow, this Morphling is so much trouble right now. With that Morphling, this is pretty much it right now. Faces Void just pretty much playing with the Dire side right now, hiding them and just baiting them with the slow HP. Unfortunately, that Morphling cannot have died right there. He has to get his Ethereal Blade. But that's a very quick GG, 20-minute GG. So wow, convincing win from Piece of Toast. And they will be the ones advancing to the winner's bracket for this tournament. I mean, the grand final for this tournament. They're, I think, in my opinion, probably one of the heavier favorites. They 2-0 Playsaurus Rex, another very strong team. They 2-0 Farm and Feed, again, a very not a strong team, but they just make these wins seem extremely easy. But, I really hope the grand finals will be a little bit more of a challenge for Piece of Toast right now. I really like to see this series go all the way and have some great games for everyone. But, for everyone that's watching, I'm sorry there was no stream right now. You're probably seeing this from a VOD, but congratulations to Piece of Toast right now for making it into the grand finals, being the favorites to take it all right now. But Farm and Feed are not out of there right now. They are in the winners bracket final. They're going to play the winner of Playersaurus Rex and one other team. So right now, if you guys want to know the schedule for this tournament, we have 2 losers bracket games right now, and then next week we'll have the grand final. So the losers bracket will be finished tomorrow, and we'll know our grand finalists for next week by tomorrow, hopefully, if no teams like cancel or whatnot. But thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my cast. And again, sorry I did not have this on stream. My OBS is a little bit weird right now, but hopefully I can get that fixed for the grand final. Even though I really can't cast the grand final just because I'll be out of town. But hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I'll see you guys later.